A man heard his girlfriend to her half-open door. She was telling her friends exactly how she controlled him. He didn't say a word. He waited until they left. Then he called the bank. Then he changed the locks. 2 nights later, she climbed through his window at 3 a.m. The police were there in 4 minutes. She got 2 years.
My girlfriend said, "You need me more than I need you," so I canceled her cards and changed the locks. I'm on the phone with the bank. It's late. The apartment is quiet. I can still hear the door closing from 20 minutes ago, the sound of 4 women leaving, one of them someone I thought I knew. The operator asks me to confirm my identity. I do. She asks which cards I'd like to address. Both additional cards. I want them canceled. Not suspended. Canceled. She offers me a temporary block instead. Permanent cancellation, I say. Tonight. She processes it. Asks if I need anything else. I don't. I hang up and sit in the silence my apartment just became and think about how a relationship that took 2 years to build took about 40 minutes to end in a living room while I listen through a half-open door. Let me go back to the beginning. I work as an independent accountant, not glamorous but stable. I spent years building a client base that lets me pay my rent without drama and maintain a life that moves at a pace I'm comfortable with. When Valentina and I decided to live together, the financial arrangement was straightforward from the start. I covered everything: rent, utilities, groceries, gas, maintenance, all of it. This wasn't an imposition or a sacrifice that weighed on me. I had that stability before she arrived. She was working at the time, but her income was low enough that splitting costs was more symbolic than practical. She proposed compensating differently, handling most of the domestic tasks, keeping the space running while I focused on work. I also helped. Cooked some days. Cleaned when I had time. Did grocery runs. It was a functional arrangement, and for a long time, also a balanced one. There was one more piece. I gave her access to 2 credit cards in my name. She had no credit history. No bank would approve her for her own card. She asked if I could help her start building one, and I agreed. I explained the limits clearly: payment cycles, interest, how to use it responsibly without accumulating debt. She was careful at first. Supermarket runs, moderate personal purchases, gas. She always let me know. There was transparency and, early on, genuine gratitude. That was then. The first thing that changed was the new job. She got hired as a waitress at a larger restaurant, more traffic, better tips, more money than she'd earned before. I was genuinely glad for her. The first few weeks she'd come home tired but in good spirits, telling me about difficult customers and friendly ones, describing her coworkers, adjusting to the pace. Then the word independence started appearing. At first as a goal she'd mention casually, then more frequently, then differently, not as aspiration but as critique. Phrases like not depending on anyone and having your own things and not getting used to someone else solving everything came with a tone that wasn't about her future anymore. It was about me, and then came her new friends. 3 co-workers from the restaurant. I didn't meet them right away, but they became constant figures in her conversations. According to Valentina, they were strong women who didn't let themselves be controlled, who did what they wanted. I didn't think much of it at first. Then I started noticing the translation. The household tasks stopped. Not all at once. Gradually. A day the kitchen wasn't cleaned, I assumed she'd had a rough shift. A day the laundry wasn't done, I let it go. Then it became consistent. I work all day. I'm tired. I understood that. What I didn't accept was that the logic applied only to her. I worked all day too. When something wasn't done, I did it anyway. Slowly, everything we'd shared or that she'd taken on ended up in my hands, and what changed most wasn't the workload. It was that she stopped acknowledging it. Before, there had been at least the intention of equilibrium. Now she acted like my handling everything was simply the natural order. Like I was supposed to. The credit cards followed the same pattern. Spending increased not dramatically at first, but enough to notice. Items I hadn't been told about, charges that didn't come up in conversation. When I mentioned it calmly, the response was immediate and defensive. I work. Pay attention to what happened the Saturday she invited her friends over. Because this is where everything visible finally matched what I'd been sensing underneath. She didn't ask me if they could come. She informed me. I didn't object. It was her space too, technically. They arrived in the afternoon. I was cordial, offered drinks, tried to participate, kept the energy light. The glances, the comments just beneath the surface, the easy laughter that landed at angles I felt but couldn't quite catch. Then Valentina stood up, raised her glass, and introduced me. "This is Nico, the useless one I have to take care of, but I love him." The 3 of them laughed. Not nervously, any hesitation, completely naturally. Like it was a joke everyone already knew the punchline to. I waited for her to correct it. She didn't. She sat back down and kept talking.
She performed that introduction for her audience, not for him. It wasn't a slip, it was a statement. She was showing them who she was in the relationship and who she believed he was. The fact that she felt comfortable saying it out loud, in his home, in front of guests, means she'd already decided it was true. That's not a person who made a mistake, that's a person revealing her operating framework.
I walked to the bedroom without responding, not because I couldn't, because I knew exactly what she was hoping for: a reaction, an explosion, something she could reframe as me being sensitive or difficult. I wasn't going to give her the scene. I sat on the edge of the bed, could hear them in the living room glasses, laughter, casual conversation, completely undisturbed. After a few minutes, I stood up. I don't know exactly why I walked back to the hallway. Part of me needed to confirm something. Part of me already suspected what I was about to hear. I stopped just before the living room entrance, far enough not to be seen, close enough to hear clearly. One of the friends was speaking. Don't you think he's going to get upset about what you said earlier? Brief pause. Valentina's voice came back calm, unbothered. I don't care if he says something. I just close my legs in bed and you'll see how fast he comes begging and apologizes. Laughter. Another friend. Why are men so basic? You can basically control them with that. Valentina? Exactly. I've already got him doing all the cleaning. He has to earn his keep somehow. One of them. Wait, but you said you pay like 80% of the house? Yeah, I said that. Then he really is useless. What? Ashamed to be with a man like that. Valentina didn't hesitate. I'm still with him, basically because he does the household tasks, so he's useful as a servant. More laughter. Comfortable and settled, the sound of people who believe completely in what they're saying. I stood in that hallway and felt the anger leave my body. Not because I wasn't affected, because what replaced it was colder and more useful. Clarity. Every small thing I'd noticed over the past months, the shifting dynamic, the dismissiveness, the growing spending, the way she'd stopped looking at me, the same way all of it arranged itself into a single coherent picture. Then her voice again. You want to see a demonstration of how trained he is? Yes, they said, almost simultaneously. A second later, Nico, amor, can you come here? I took a breath, stepped back a few paces, made enough noise walking forward that my arrival sounded natural. When I entered the living room, she was already watching the door. What is it, Valentina? She smiled. Not genuinely. My friend isn't feeling well. Can you go buy her some pads? Actually go on foot. I might need the car to go get some drinks. I looked at her for a moment, then used the car to buy the pads too. I'm busy with a client. I turned to leave. Her voice came back before I'd taken 3 steps. Different this time. That wasn't a request, it's an order. Go now. I stopped, turned slowly. Did you not hear that I'm busy? Her expression shifted just slightly, just enough to show she wasn't accustomed to this. If you don't go, she said, there's no intimacy for the rest of the month. I looked at her, then I laughed, short, automatic, and I turned around again. If you've ever watched someone try to use your relationship as leverage against you, you know exactly what that laugh was. Before I reached the hallway, she called after me one more time. Louder now, a comment about my health, personal, designed to land in front of an audience. The room went quiet. I turned around, walked back into the living room. All 4 of them were watching. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here, Valentina? My voice was direct, not raised, not shaking. You've been humiliating me in my own home. In front of people you told I pay 80% of this house when you've never contributed a single peso. Her face changed completely. For the first time all evening, she looked genuinely caught. Stop it, she said low. No, you stop. I let it sit for a second. We're done. The words settled in the room. She blinked. You can't break up with me, she said. You need me more than I need you. I looked at her. In what way do I need you? Silence. All you've been lately is a parasite in my life. Get out. You and your friends. One of them, what a small man. Another, now we understand everything. I didn't respond. I had nothing to prove to them. Valentina held my gaze for a few more seconds, anger there, but also something else. Uncertainty. Like she genuinely hadn't seen this coming. She picked up her bag. Let's go, she said to them. No one argued. They walked out. The door closed, and the silence came back.
You need me more than I need you, said as a power move in the moment of losing power. That sentence wasn't confidence. It was panic dressed up as control. She said it because she had nothing else. And the fact that he didn't even argue with it, just asked a quiet question and waited, told her everything she needed to know about whether it was true.
2 nights later, I wake up to a sound. It's light at first, easy to dismiss. A brush against glass somewhere in the apartment. Then it comes again. I lie still for a second. Then I get up quietly. No lights. I move through the dark toward the hallway. Stop at the edge where it opens into the living room. And I see her. Valentina halfway through the window, working her way in through a gap she'd opened from outside. Moving carefully, trying not to make noise, not knowing I'm already standing 10 feet away watching. For a moment, I don't say anything. Then, are you serious right now? She startles, twists toward me, still half in, half out. Nico, what are you doing up? What are you doing? She pulls herself fully inside, straightens up. I just came to talk, to fix things. This isn't talking. This is breaking in. I'm not breaking in. I just needed to see you. I took my phone out. I'm calling the police. Her expression shifted fast. Don't do that. I came because I love you. You're overreacting. I dialed. She moved toward me. Her hand went into her bag. I didn't identify what she pulled out until I felt it, a sharp, spreading shock through my body that seized my muscles and dropped my coordination completely. I went down. My body wasn't responding the way I needed it to. My voice came out wrong. She was saying something, but I couldn't fully track the words, something about just wanting me to listen, to hear her out. She used it again. Then again, somewhere distantly, I heard sirens. She heard them too. She looked at the door. I couldn't answer clearly. The pounding on the door came fast. Then the door. 2 officers moved through the apartment in seconds, assessed the scene, saw me on the floor, saw her standing with the device still in her hand. Drop it. Now, she didn't resist. They had her in cuffs before she fully understood what was happening.
She came back because she thought the relationship was still something she could re-enter on her terms. She'd tested his limits for months and found them, or thought she had. When he drew a hard line, her response was to escalate. That escalation is what separated a relationship conflict from a criminal matter. She made that decision, not him.